Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're doing well. I want to talk about the editorial in this week's Boxing News by Matt Christie, because he talked about the 10-point must system, and this comes off the back of the controversy with the Loma-Haney fight. Now, I thought Loma won. I don't think it was a robbery. I thought Haney, you could argue that Haney possibly squeezed the win out of it. I don't agree with that. I think, like I say, Loma won. I watched it twice. But what Matt Christie was saying in Boxing News, I think is a very good point. And it's something that I've always thought as well, which is why I'm making this video. Namely, that the 10-point must system is used incorrectly. It's actually quite a good concept. But it's used incorrectly because unless you get a knockdown, the other guy will usually get 9 points. So you can have a scenario where one guy is battered from pillar to post, but he doesn't score. The winning fighter doesn't score a knockdown, so it's 10-9, right? And sometimes, just occasionally, if someone is really beaten up, even if they're knocked down, they'll only get 8. But even then, you have to ask, well, let's say one guy loses every second of the round. He doesn't hit the floor though, and and one of the judges goes, "I'm pushing the boat out. I'm going to go to 10-8 rather than 10-9." You have to ask yourself, well, what did that guy do to earn 8 points? Shouldn't that be a 10-4, a 10-3, a 10-2? Why should the score be the same, a 10-9, or if with a round that is so evidently won by one fighter, and then you get another round which is incredibly close, but you think one guy edged it, so you give the same score, 10-9. The purpose of the 10-point must system is that one fighter must get 10. A must system is one fighter should get 10 points. The other fighter, they've got to earn their points. They may lose the round, but they've still got to show something. So yeah, if it's a very, very close round, it's a 10-9. But if one guy just completely dominates the other fella, you've got to say, well, that's probably not that. Maybe that's a 10-5 or something. Now, if you implemented it, very, very liberally like this, you would get some very creative scorecards. And I know what's going to happen. People are going to say, what the hell is that? I don't know. But gradually they would learn that the 10-point must system is, you've got to earn your points. You don't just, if you lose a round, you don't just automatically get 9 points. No, or let's say one guy dominates a round and then right at the end of it gets knocked over and suffers a knockdown, a flash knockdown. Why should that be a 10-8 to the guy who was being dominated for the rest of the round? It doesn't make any sense. And it's wrong because, again, the 10-point must system was meant to be used liberally. It was meant to illustrate that it was meant to cover the whole gamut of possibilities in a round. One guy completely dominates, the other guy doesn't get a look in. Another round is very, very close. So that's, the scores are closer. So what you would have is, over the course of 10 or 12 rounds, whatever the distance was, you would have a better reflection of, if you imagine let's say it's a 10-rounder, you imagine all 10 rounds, all 30 minutes as being one big round, you would get a better idea, a better result, a better impression of the overall fight. One guy has won the first 3 rounds, very, very cagey, so it's 10-9, maybe 10-8 if he really dominates. But then the other guy in the second half of the fight comes on and completely batters the other fella from pillar to post. The other guy goes the distance, but those last 5 rounds or whatever it was, we're giving 10-5s, 10-4s, 10-7s to the winner. And therefore, it's like, overall, yes, he won the first half of the fight, fighter A, but he won close rounds. The second half of the fight, completely dominated by the other guy, he gets far more of a disparity in points because he was winning the rounds, so obviously, so clearly, so skillfully, so whatever, So I hope you understand what I'm getting at here, because I think this is a very, very good point that Matt Christie made in that editorial. And it's, like I say, it's something that I've wanted to talk about for a long, long time, because the 10-point must system, I repeat, isn't a bad system, but it's not implemented properly. Think about it. I know you're going to get some weird scorecards, at the end of it, but if you're giving out 10-7s, 10-3s, 10-5s, what the hell is that? But overall, you should get a better impression of how the fight went overall. Because essentially, even though, let's say, a 12-rounder is 12 little mini fights, 12 rounds, 12 little mini contests, at the same time, as a whole, it's like you win a battle, but are you going to win the war? You know what I mean? You can lose a few battles very badly, but then if you win the other battles, if you absolutely dominate and destroy your opponent in the other battles, you could win the overall war. So that's the idea. Let me know what you think. Give your opinions below. I'm eager to read them. And as always, thanks for your time. Subscribe if you're new. If you could hit the subscribe button, that'd be a really good thing. And the like button as well helps us out. I'm looking forward to reading your comments about this, and I will reply to them. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll speak again soon. Bye-bye for now.